Bob, looking at Brexit, Trump, Le Pen, all these issues, what are the kind of underlying factors that are driving this sort of politics?
It's the marginals left behind from globalisation that don't quite understand what's happening. In fact, nobody really does. There's a sort of inchoate sense of certainly loss, that things are moving far too fast for them to understand. Sort of economic angst, cultural anxiety, political alienation.
And it's all coming together and manifesting in kind of nationalism, but it's not really nationalism.
I think that the common word is a nativism, and it's fueled by another buzzword, post-truth politics. It was always post-truth politics.
Yeah, exactly. There was never truth.
The other word is called line, you know. It's those things, but it isn't funny. So, you know, when I was out on the river, you know, battling for ash, you know, the fishermen were really angry, and we invited them on board our boat, and they were literally, one was violently angry. I mean, really, his face was puce, like, you know, the worst drunk, but he wasn't, and he was coherent. And the other guy was going to die in 10 months. He had terminal cancer, so he said, I don't give a crap. And they were saying, they're taking our jobs, or this, that. And it was pointless saying to him that Britain makes the most from fishing of any country in the EU, that Britain is the second largest quota. Because the reality is that these artisans, these family fishermen, have lost their jobs. Yeah. And, you know, when the quota system came in, some of the smart ones, you know, they did their thing and they grew as an industry. And then the EU set up a mitigating fund for people in their situation of 250 million euro. But the thing is, if they exit, and this is to your point about why is this going on, if they exit Europe and you argue with them on this point, that the coastal waters of Britain are not large enough to sustain a 1.6 billion pound fishing industry. So the fishing fleet as it currently is will require to go to other maritime waters, Spain, France, Germany,
where they won't be allowed to go.
Where they won't be allowed to go. So they're going to have to negotiate this, and you go to Spain and they say, listen, we need to get into your waters. They say, fine, then we need to get into yours. So the mantra in Britain at the moment is take back control. You lose control. And it's the same problem, the same rage that the miners in Pittsburgh feel, or the steel workers in Philadelphia or Cardiff feel.
That Trump is speaking to.
That Trump is speaking to. That deep anger and confusion. And to be honest with you, many people are confused by what's going on, but it isn't going to stop, because it's a function of that thing that we all have in our back pocket, the web. I mean, this economy is fueled and run on this new device.
The Zurich Dalkey Book Festival.
With Air.
Global names, local vibe.